Well, isn't this nice to see, guys? We've got some green in the market, and we're going to be taking a look at the price chart for both Bitcoin and XRP. We have quite a bit of news to talk about, some good things going on with XRP and Ripple. So let's go ahead and get started. The very first thing I want to talk about here is what's going on with Bitcoin. Currently, we are seeing the Bitcoin Fear and Greed Index at 13, so it is still very bad. It's very close to those single digits. We haven't really moved too much since yesterday on this, but as you guys can very clearly see, we are deep in the extreme fear territory, and Bitcoin's price being below $60,000 really does not help anything. But speaking of $60,000, look at how close we are to climbing above it. While I'm recording this video, it is just $19 away from hitting $60,000 once again. We zoom in here even more. We can actually see on the day it was above 60,000. It went to $60,600. We have a low on the day down at $58,200. Volume is doing quite good. We're on track to passing the volume for yesterday as well as for Wednesday. So with that being said, we do have 3 days of candle closure. They are all in the red. Green on the day. The green position itself right now is also hovering essentially where we're seeing a convergence take place. We have the purple line, which is the VWAP. We also have that green line, which is the bottom of the Bollinger Band. So two instances suggesting right around $60,250. So if this climbs just a little bit higher, I mean, it looks like it's more or less right there. Yeah, just a little bit higher, around $60,200. That means that we're seeing ourselves break above, and we're going to be heading towards potentially $63,200. And let's go ahead and zoom out a bit more. You can also see that with the Bollinger Bands, that they have started to diverge once again, just slightly, but it is showing some signs of that potential explosion. Hopefully this will start to make a strong rally, but as it is right now, we've been seeing it progressively falling down, right? Here, there's a bit of a climb that happened. We can go back to March 29th, and that made a dramatic climb all the way up here to May 6th, came down, tried to recover, got real close, and then just progressively really started dropping essentially since May 10th. And we'll keep an eye on this. So let's go and move on to some other news. The EU just handed Ripple a gift. Binance, the world's biggest exchange, is winding down across the EU after its MiCA bid failed. Billions in USDT liquidity now needs a licensed home. RLUSD is the rail Ripple already owns the keys to. XRP spot ETF records $0 in outflows on June 25th as Bitcoin ETFs bleed $696 million. Ethereum sheds $81 million, Solana drops $3.94 million, and Hype loses $4.64 million of XRP, stands alone with zero outflows across all US crypto spot ETFs. And up next, US oil prices. They've come down, crashing below $70 per barrel. That happened just within the last few hours. And an insane reversal, $700 billion has been added to the US stock market in just a 60-minute time span. Nearly $1 trillion in 1 hour. Almost 3/4 of a trillion, I should say. The S&P 500 erases losses, and that turned green. And in addition to that, we also have, and up next, Caleb and Brown partners with Ripple for payments infrastructure. The XRP Ledger native lending protocol gained one more yes vote today. From now on, you'll see much more from the application side of lending, from how users can use this to how projects are looking to use it. Feeling really good after the new security approach for amendments. This is coming from Vet. Vet has been talking a lot on XRP, a lot of attention on the tweets that he does. So if you guys want to check him out, you guys can see him on the screen here at VetXO over on Twitter. XRP's 90-day SMA hits its lowest since August 2022 as capitulation pressure deepens with more participants exiting at a loss. And this is coming from Glassnode. The XRP Ledger is becoming payment infrastructure for autonomous agents. T54's X402 facilitator enables agentic payments on XRPL, giving agents a way to access paid APIs and services through native XRPL settlement. And in response to this, Vet once again responded, perhaps most users on XRP will be machines and not human? Let's keep an eye on this AI development on XRP, folks. From Chad Steingraber, the proposed Cryptex Digital Market Cap ETF is an actively filed multi-asset exchange-traded fund that plans to hold a basket of approximately 30 cryptocurrencies, which includes XRP. Unlike single coin funds, it is designed to provide diversified market capitalization weighted exposure to the broader digital asset space. Ripple's Reese Merrick says crypto payments are in the same, quote, slow foundational phase e-commerce was in before going mainstream, adding, you are not bullish enough. Dear XRP and Ripple family, the clustering of these onboarding dates suggests coordinated operational readiness rather than random timing. DTCC and SCC continue onboarding participants while modernizing market infrastructure. Institutional participation in digital asset-related businesses continues to increase. Firms positioning themselves today are likely preparing for an environment where traditional securities and tokenized assets increasingly coexist. Prime brokers, Ripple Prime, capable of serving both traditional and digital markets, will enjoy strategic advantages. If future regulation, Clarity Act, and infrastructure evolve as many institutions envision, firms like Ripple, Hidden Road will eventually act as bridges between traditional securities, tokenized real-world assets, stablecoin liquidity, and interoperable settlement networks. This is all consistent with many public industry roadmaps, public figure comments, and years of due diligence, research, and discovery. Let's all ask ourselves, does this document fit a broader pattern of increasingly interconnected digital capital market infrastructure? We can all observe these truths. The concentration of industry developments around late June and early July, including market infrastructure changes, benchmark updates, regulatory milestones, and institutional onboarding, is significant. Please process this information as best you can and share with others if you may serve you well. All right. And now let's go ahead and take a look at what's going on with the XRP price movement. So first thing, like Bitcoin, we have 3 red daily candles. So let's go ahead and take a look here at Bitcoin's price chart, zoom in a tad bit. And there we go, right? So 3 red daily candles for Bitcoin, 3 red daily candles for XRP. The difference here is that we just got a signal suggesting a short position for XRP. These are not 100% accurate. Clearly, you can see what happened with June 15th. It was suggesting a long, actually ended up not going that way, dropped down. So this might end up doing the same thing. This very well could end up pulling up. But what's essentially happening here is you're having a series of technical indicators that are crossing over. And then when they are suggesting more one way than another, we get these indicating points. So, for example, if we zoom out a bit here more, we can see that this was a good instance. May 9th, it was suggesting the entry of a long, actually rose up pretty well there. Came in from $1.41, went all the way up to $1.54. The short position on May 18th, that played out very well. That went from about $1.40 all the way down here to $1.05. Even if you went over to this point, right, $1.18, if that suggested a long position, and even if you came in at the very top of that, $1.29, it's still pretty considerable difference there, right? But you can always gauge it, see how far it's going down, feel if it's overextended. It starts to show signs that it's climbing up more. Ideally, that's where you would see an indicator suggesting if it's long. If it's dropping down for a while, possibly suggesting a short, right? So you got enough of a pattern going on here suggesting that this might end up continuing further down. And if it does go down, where do we look at? Well, $1, of course, we actually see at $1.01, 2 different days, yesterday and today. And if it drops below 101, like I said, $1, below $1, a big low, a very significant level of support is down here at 86.5 cents. We can zoom out quite a bit. We go all the way back here, November 16th, 2024. Look at that. You really got to go back. I mean, we could go for really, really far back, but we're talking here about 2 years ago. And what ended up happening there? Really nice, significant run up. If this continues to drop down, we might see it try to make levels all the way back down around 57 cents. I think it's pretty unlikely. We've got the Clarity Act coming up, which looks like it's probably going to pass. If it doesn't, maybe we'll see some more pullback. But if it does pass, we could see some nice gains. There's still issues going on with Iran, with the United States, with Russia, Ukraine. If all that continues to play out, that could leave things falling flat, sideways. If there's any new war escalations that happen, a lot of earthquake stuff happening around the world right now. If anything catastrophic takes place, then we also might see it shake up the markets. Stocks have been hitting all-time highs. They might be hitting this bubble point where they're going to burst even more and dropping down. And that very well could end up pulling a lot of stuff down with it too. So there's a handful of things to keep an eye on. I'm going to do the best I can of reporting these things, and you guys stay safe. Thank you to my Patreon supporters as well as my YouTube members. God bless, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.